allow me to mix up here today. If somebody hasn't experienced success in music and they've been working in music for a long time, and what they might consider successful might be, $100, $200 this month, 500, just some random number. And you haven't experienced that maybe ever, let alone this month. It's very easy to get down on yourself and think that what you're doing isn't worth anything. It's very easy to look at somebody who has maybe written a comment saying things like, the world's filled with shit music. Don't add any more shit to the pile. It's not, a good idea to believe in yourself. You'll never make it in music. It's very easy to look at stuff written like that and take it to heart. It's very easy, if you're feeling down already, to latch on to one of those negative threads. Or it's basically, I look at it like there are these waves, because I experience waves like this where I get on this extreme high of confidence where I think no matter what I'm doing, I shouldn't even say I think, I know that no matter what I'm doing, just the fact that I'm doing something is better than nothing. Putting out something that might not be the greatest thing, or it's not perfect, or it has this flaw in it, or this part makes me sound like I'm not as good, or this part here, makes me sound less professional, or I wish this didn't happen at this moment, and I want to tweak this, and a couple more tweaks, it'll be perfect. Then I'll release it. Then, if I get caught in that, I'm on a negative wave that's going nowhere, essentially. It's receding, pulling back into the sea. Whereas you could ride a confident wave that goes the opposite way just as easily, thinking, and this is what I have to think in order to keep on that wave, I have to think, anything I do is right. Anything I do is right just because I did it. That's the truth. If you don't do something today that you could have done, you will always be one step behind where you could have been. And this is what I realized is the people that become fearless from an outside perspective, they're not fearless. All they are is somebody who got comfortable accepting that feeling and the fear and the risk. They got comfortable sitting in that moment and then taking the next step anyway. They got comfortable pulling out the other side of that rather than being like, when it's ready, it'll be done. It's not ready. And then just sort of getting swallowed up in this overthinking nonsense. And it's very easy for us to overthink, some of us, and some of us self-sabotage because we don't think we're worthy. We don't think we're worthy of success. And this could happen for a number of reasons. But what I want you to do today, if possible, is think in your life about what you have that you're grateful for. Something. It could be a support system, like somebody in your life who says, follow your dreams, go do what you want to do, give it a shot, try again. It could be the fact that maybe you've, been blessed with some money in some way, shape, or form in your job, or you got lucky doing something, and now you have a little bit of money to spend on what you want to do in music, even if you didn't make that money in music. It could be the fact that, you found someone that you're in love with and they support you. They're happy and proud that you're somebody who loves to do something and has a passion. And it could just be you're thankful for your own brain, your own intelligence, the fact that you see how other people operate and you find that you are someone who's more than capable of doing the things you want to do. We could be grateful for these little things, or we could look at the guy who's extremely successful and say, I wish I was him. That's a choice. You either make the choice to compare yourself, or you make the choice to be happy and grateful for something you have. And this is what I want you to think about. If you have anything that you're grateful for, and most people can think of something, one thing, even if it's your freaking cat, you're grateful you got a cat or a dog who loves you or something, whatever it is. Maybe you got a couple close friends, whatever. You could find something to be grateful for. Be grateful you're still alive. Be grateful you didn't, not wake up today. You can find things to be grateful for. As soon as you do, all you have to do at that point is say, I am lucky, and I am somebody who will succeed because I deserve it. And the reason you deserve it is because you're a good person. Now, something as simple as being a good person puts you in a position to receive good luck. But you're going to live every day being grateful and working at showing thanks to the world for allowing you to walk through it and be part of it. And by doing that, you change your entire world, you change your energy, you change everything about the way you think about yourself. If you look at yourself as somebody who deserves success because they're a good person, then you have to be a good person every day to make that come true. And then just the simple act of being somebody who's a good person will put you in a position to receive greatness. And that's how I look at it. And I think the people that give up on themselves are the ones that are truly lost. The ones that say they wish they never stopped, or, they keep telling themselves they're going to start something again and try again. And this time they're actually going to do it. They're going to fight the fear. They're going to put stuff out. They're going to not be somebody who's held back by anything in their head, because all that stuff in your head's not real. Everything you think that other people are thinking about you is bullshit. It's not real, and it's just holding you back from doing what you want to do. That fear, you can shake it. In the easiest way to do it is this, in my opinion. Think of the movie The Truman Show, if you've never seen it. But there's a great part at the end of The Truman Show where Truman is basically, if you don't know the story, this is the story, and this is not a spoiler really, but the guy's whole life is basically pretend, and there's a director of his life. He doesn't know it, but there's people controlling his whole life so that everyone else in the world can view it, essentially. And it's amazing how poignant that movie is today, and how it just fits so well with the way the world has sort of become with social media. But there's a moment at the end of that where Truman basically decides he's going to leave this fake world. And the moment he does, he's off the air, essentially. And everybody who was watching him his whole life, who couldn't take their eyes off him, everybody, all at once, as soon as he's gone, just says, I wonder what else is on. What's next to watch on TV? So right there is the easiest way to get rid of your fears. All these things you think people care about you and think about you, and what's holding you back is how it's going to be received and whether it's good enough. If you did it, it's good enough. If you've accomplished it and finished, it's good enough. And if you haven't, you got to make yourself get there. I'm not saying every single piece of work you do is going to be amazing and great, but you don't know what the good stuff is. So many artists go through their entire career and they would never have bet on the thing that was the most successful for them. Whatever it was that had wings, they wouldn't have bet on, which makes me think of Bullet with Butterfly Wings and Smashing Pumpkins, and how Billy Corgan basically wrote a song he hated for the record company, and it became their most requested and successful song in a way. And they got a lot of hits. But it's an interesting thought that we never know what's going to be great. And the more we try to sort of control and have some sort of a handle on how people perceive us or what we're capable of and how we want to show ourselves in what light, the more we try to control that, the worse it gets. Letting go is the ultimate freedom. Being willing to put yourself on the line 100%. In all aspects of your life, but especially in every light. Show your bad side, show your good side. And this comes out in music. Like, I'm not saying everybody needs to go on and literally become, an influencer or an actor or, I'm not saying do all this stuff you don't want to do necessarily. What I'm saying is whatever it is that is your passion, if it's making music or whatever, let go of this idea that you need to be perfect. Let go of the idea that you'll only be accepted if you're perfect. You'll only be appreciated if you're perfect. Your work will only be appreciated if you make sure you haven't forgotten or messed up or done anything wrong. Let go of that idea and replace it with what I've said a few times now, which is, if you did it, it's good. If you did it, that's all you have to do is do it. And then it's good enough. And then you let the chips fall where they may. And I'm telling you, in today's world especially, where we're getting overrun by AI garbage, people want some humanity. And however you can give it to them is better than not giving it to them. And that's the point. When we do what we do, we're basically entertainers, artists. We do it for our own self-expression. We do it because it's who we are. But it would be nice for other people, even a small sect of people, to appreciate that as well. And the only way you get there to fulfill that, somebody appreciating what you do, is not to censor it until it's perfect. It's to just put stuff out and take the next step, and then put more stuff out and take the next step, finish more stuff, and then take the next step. Try all avenues, every direction you can think of. Explore it all. No information pool that you could search into to find out stuff you don't know is a waste of time. None of it is a waste of time. It's all something that will help you grow in some way. The knowledge you get from that will help you take the next step potentially. So do research on whatever it is you don't know. Figure it out. Be willing to fail. And the only way you figure out what you don't know is by trying things and then realizing where the gaps are. That's the only way. How do football teams get better? They watch the tape. What does that mean? There has to be tape. They have to play. If you never play, you can never expose where your weaknesses are and fix them. That doesn't mean that you have to be the best team ever before you set foot on the field day one. And that's what I think everyone's messed up about. Artists always think they got to be this perfect version of themselves when people see me, or it could go bad. It's the opposite of true. The best thing you could have is confidence. But there's a sweet spot. The confidence is great. You don't want to be so confident that you're this arrogant, annoying person that people don't want in their face or in their life. You don't want to be that. And that's the sweet spot. It's great to feel confident in yourself, but if you're too confident, you'll never learn from your mistakes. You'll never be able to see the writing on the wall and improve. So there's a sweet spot there. And I think far too many of us are so far below the sweet spot in terms of we don't feel good about ourselves, or we don't feel worthy, or all the stuff I mentioned, that we never get to the sweet spot. You got to overshoot to get to the sweet spot. You'll find it if you just start taking the first step. Take the first step. That's the biggest thing I could possibly offer you, in this kind of in a way that's just like me reflecting on my own life also, because I know that if I were to take steps earlier, I had this ability to talk when I was younger. I wasn't willing to do it. I had this ability to, put myself on the line or mix, or, I had the desire to be in front of people and in a musical context. But, I always sort of felt that I could hang in the world of put a camera on me, like, let's run it. I always felt I could kind of do that, but I never did, never took that step until one day I finally did. And then I realized very quickly that it's not as hard as I thought. And we shy away and wait and delay so much of our lives so that we have these regrets later. Before your life is over, you got to change that immediately. And you never know when that's going to be. We lost D'Angelo yesterday. 51. I mean, come on. You never know when it's going to be up. So be grateful for every day. And you don't even have to be grateful for something you currently have. Maybe you had, a relative, a parent who was around, who really helped you, who pushed you along the way, who gave you a kick in the ass to become who you could be. Be thankful for that. Just find something and then realize that you were given that because you are worthy, not because you're not. That's where you got to go. You got to go there mentally, because that will allow you to move forward. Because some people can't do it for themselves. They have to do it almost with this understanding that you were given all this stuff to be able to do it because you're worthy. You deserve it. If you're willing to put in the work, put yourself out there, you deserve it. Have the confidence. Don't let anything people tell you about who you are affect you. They don't have any idea who you are. And why would they? You haven't shown them yet. Once you prove to people who you are by showing them exactly who you are day to day, consistently, they know they can't mess with you by saying anything. They'll change their opinion then. Until then, don't expect anybody to know who you are. And don't let that stop you. You know who you are. Evan Jaffe, Custom Cut Studios. You guys got this. Take it easy.